Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be pimping up this scooter. So I've pretty much got all the parts I need now to finish this scooter. I'm still waiting for the throttle and the brake, but I think by the time we've pretty much got this frame where we want it to be, I think that they'll pretty much be here. So I ordered these two plugs. I made them female off of eBay the other day, and they come within a couple of days, I suppose. So then I managed to get hold of some thick cable, pretty much the same as what's on the battery at the moment. So this is the lead I've had made up. It's probably a lot longer than I need it to be, but I think better off making them longer than obviously the issue we've got with this, where it's too short and you have to make something like this up. So battery's in there ready to go. We've made our extension lead up, so this is basically going to go from your battery to your motherboard, and then I'm going to tuck the wires away within the space and just have it all sort of clamped down so there's no movement, but no way of coming apart or just arcing out anywhere. We just want to keep everything nice and tight and neat basically. So we can tea is important. You can't do anything without a cup of tea. So this is basically what I ordered off of eBay the other day. I ordered a couple of these. This is just the male version. I got the female version as well. Anything when these ones that I ordered, when it came, it was just literally this tiny little plug there without the wire, and it was a bit of a bugger to solder, but I did a pretty decent job actually, being I don't do it very often. There's no way it's going to come apart, and obviously wrapping a bit of heat shrink around it afterwards just gives it that bit of extra protection. So basically what's going to happen is that's going in there, and then the lead is going to come round and that will go into here. And to be honest with you, I think that's a perfect size. So I winged it and it kind of worked, so winging is good, yeah. So I've got these nuts and bolts, so work out where everything's going to be, drill up a couple of pilot holes, and then start bolting everything in so it's ready. And probably drill the pilot hole for the charging point. We might as well do that tonight, and then just see how we get on. So let's work out where we're going to drill these holes. That's right. You want to basically give your wires a bit of slack as well, so there's no point keeping everything dead tight, because if you do that and something moves, you've lost it. So what we're going to do is just give ourselves a couple of pilot holes. I'm going to extend that actually. I'll probably put a bit of mastic on the bottom of the bolt, and as I pull it up it should seal the hole, so when I'm going for driving along, drive through a puddle, you're not going to have any water coming up into it. But I'm just going to, before I do that, I'm just going to make sure everything sort of fits in. So even though I'm going to have to double up on everything I'm doing, it's better to get it in there, make sure it fits before you then start masticing things and gluing things in. So a bit fiddly, but we will get there. I kind of think it's a bad idea doing this sort of thing now. I think my problem is I've got massive sausage fingers, and I need tiny little girly fingers to get in there. This could be like a 20-minute video of just me trying to get one bolt in. You can turn off if you want. Nearly had it then. Fuck. I got it. It just bit. Right. Reminds me of that SpongeBob thing. 1 hour later. Right, so that's 2 of the 3 in. And to be honest with you, I could probably just leave it as that, but because I've drilled 3 holes, and I know you lot are counting, I will put 3 in. That was a little bit easier. Right, so that's our motherboard in. The battery's still not strapped down, but it is tight in there, so we're not too fussed about that. And I need to work out whether I'm going to go for like a bracket that I drill in, just so it doesn't bounce around, or whether I just get like a strap with a clip on it. I can just unclip it and take it out if I want, but I don't see why I would want to take it out anyway, really. Once it's in, it is pretty much in. So what we're going to do now is work out where we want our charging point. We basically want to be sticking it around just underneath here. So that's going to come around and into that. And if you look, this is quite thick metal. This is double breasted, I suppose you could call it. I do like talking about breasts on this channel. And this is just one thin layer that I can go straight through. So again, we'll drill a pilot hole and then go through a bigger drill bit. So that's going in there. We want to try and get it pretty central. There we go, scratch the paint, which is good, and I'll just blow over that. I've got some satin black, I'll just blow over it once it's done, and then we're going to go with, just change this. We've got this beast of a tool, which should just cut through metal like butter. If you get the movie reference, you're as cool as I am. The good thing about this drill bit is it's got little measurement marks, and we're going to go with probably, actually, what would be a good idea would be, it only has to be roughly, so you're looking at about 12 mil. So I'm going to get to 10 mil and then I'm going to slow down and then just do a little bit at a time. The health and safety would probably say I should be wearing glasses, which I can get some glasses if you want. Now I'm too cool for glasses. Jesus, I'm 38 years old. I'm not going to have mine out yet. And I think we're roughly about there. So if we just unplug this. And feed that through. And perfect. Like I've done this before. So again, I'll probably put a bit of silicone around this bit, so as I push it through, 1 is keep it tight, and 2 it will seal it. Alright, so we got a Sharpie, and make sure it's straight because your OCDs will kick in. And go through it. Let's get that too. Can I see them? Yes, you can. Be careful. Right, so what I might do is get some self-tapping screws on these 2 holes here, because they're very small, and these were just going to break. This one's slightly too big anyway, so I don't really want to be putting that in. So this is batteries in. This is my loom, so it's going to come round. What I'll probably do is pin that to the side. with a P-clip there, and I'll probably pin it to with a P-clip at the back there as well, just to keep the wires all nice and tidy, because we do like tidy wires. And then I'm going to work out a bracket that's going to go into the floor, into the side of this, and then that will keep the battery from just jumping about as I'm scooting around on the scooter. So it looks pretty good there, doesn't it, really? So, quite pleased with that. That's in there secure. I'm going to work out how we're going to stick this in. We can get our motor on. I think I'm going to have to drill a couple of pilot holes through this frame. So the motor is going to go on here that way, and then I'm going to feed through this hole here into the frame. Bob's your uncle. So I managed to pick up these plastic grommets from eBay. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm drilling a hole, so when my motors are bracketed onto the frame, the wires can go through the frame rather than sitting across here like they used to. So what used to happen is the wires would come across the top of the frame, and then your base plate would just go on top of it. So then when you're standing on top, you technically stand on top of wires, which is never good. So let's make these a little bit bigger. And so because I don't really know the actual size of it, I'm just going to go a little bit at a time. Oh, I've got cramp. Right, so we're literally there. Just we need a smidgen, I think they call it. A smidgen more. So this is about right. So as you can see, there's the first hole just drilled there, and then this plastic grommet, because this is all sharp and that, you don't want wires going through bare metal. So you're just going to push that through, and you've now got a plastic sleeve and no way of it cutting against any bare metal. So we just need to do the same on the other side. Perfect. So what's going to happen is my motor is going to be attached here, and then these two wires are going to go through the hole and come out the other side, and then again just whack a bit of silicone to stop any water coming from the back wheel going inside into my little cubby hole. That's what we're going to start calling it, cubby hole. I think it's time for another cup of tea. So the wife's just making me a cup of tea because that's all she's good for. Don't tell her I said that, fucking hell, please. So I think what we're going to do now is, should we put the motor on? Why not? Might as well start being quite productive. So shit, I really needed that. Oh, not too bad. Found it. So on there. Just going to pinch that up. Let's go in there. So I'm going to do it up, but not do it up so tight that, because I think when I put the chain and the back wheel on, I'm going to have to sort of adjust it a little bit. So I want it on, but not on. ever meet Alan, who invented the Allen key, I feel like I'm going to punch him in the head, because they're a pain in the arse and they hurt your fingers. Why couldn't you just go over Philip's head? I think Alan was a nutcase who liked having his fingers bent and bruised. Kept dropping things. Thank you, Alan, for that. Again, thank you, Alan, for making such a shit tool. I'm sure all of Alan's friends really liked him. They hated him. What a stupid tool the Allen key is. I can understand you using an Allen key back in the 1800s or something like that, before the Phillips screwdriver was invented. But why are we using them now? Right, so that's the motor all on, nice and secure. Easy enough to loosen it a little bit and move it about once we've got the chain and the wheel on. We're going to feed the wires through this little lug hole that we just drilled. And bitch. So what we'll do is should have done this first time. Just going to stick them together, twist it through. So as I push it through, they both come through together rather than individual, because it is tight. And look at that, both of them come through. Have a little bit of slack, pull them apart, ready to go. So we've now got a motor, motherboard, batteries there, ready to go. Just got to work out a bracket for this, which I'm sure I've probably got something lying around. I could probably do that in a minute. Look at that, 2 cups of tea. Oh. So, where was we? We've got our loom for our battery. We've got our port for charging, which is fine. Our motor's now in place and ready to go. All the wires are fed through into the cubby department. So I don't want to put the back wheel on yet and the chain, because it's only going to be in the way while it's here. Obviously you guys can see it and I can work on it, so it doesn't really matter, as long as when we connect it all up this starts turning around. So I pretty much think that's it for the night. Got the motor on, motherboard's in place and secure. Got to try and work out a way of getting this battery in and getting it clamped down so it's not going to rattle around. Our motor wire is through the frame and there's no sharp metal bits. We've plugged that in quite well. As always guys, thank you for watching. Thumbs up if you can, subscribe somewhere down the bottom, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy guys.